All right, so hello, welcome. My name is Mallory, and I am the outreach manager for the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic at Easter Seals. We offer mental health counseling for the entire military and veteran family, as well as veterans, any era, any discharge. We do individual counseling, couples counseling, and family counseling, as well as child and adolescent counseling. Right now, our services are entirely telehealth, and our clinic locally provides care to anybody in Virginia, Maryland, or DC. I want to thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you enjoy today's practice. Go ahead, Jessica.
All right. Thank you, Mallory. My name is Jessica. For those who I haven't met yet, I'm a health and wellness coach and yoga and meditation instructor. And today we're going to be doing a real gentle practice. So if you don't have them out yet, you can grab a yoga mat, maybe a cushion or a block or a pillow, something to sit on. And you're also welcome to just do this practice today from your chair. And I'll give you an option to stand for a little bit of it too. I just ask that you please be gentle with your bodies today. The big point of our practice today is really to kind of bring that focus inward and to be real compassionate with ourselves and our bodies. So you can go ahead and start making yourselves comfortable. I would suggest perhaps a seated position or kneeling. If you have a pillow to kind of lift your hips up a little bit, that'll help relieve some of the pressure on your lower back if you're sitting cross-legged. You could also sit kneeling too, or you can switch back and forth, go from kneeling to cross-legged as you would like to during the practice, or for those of you joining us in a chair, we'll also make modifications for that today. So. And to start out with, I'd like to invite you to just close the eyes or perhaps adopting a soft gaze. And as you close the eyes, starting to notice that attention shifting inward. And you can place a hand on the chest and a hand on the belly. And feeling the gentle rise and fall of the belly with the breath. And perhaps feeling a sense of comfort with the hand at the heart. Just by placing the hand at the heart with loving intention, you can actually reduce or produce some oxytocin. You might notice some sensation from that. Notice the space being created with the inhalation and the letting go that's possible with the exhalation. And you can go ahead and release the hands down to the thighs. If anyone's joining us, just go ahead and get settled in with your mat and any props. We're going to do a breathing practice similar to the alternate nostril breathing that we've done in the past, only this time we're not going to actually close the nostrils, breathing in, holding, and breathing out the other nostril. Instead, we're going to just notice sensation in the body as we do this one. So just make yourself comfortable, and we're going to start out with sensing on the left side of the body. So as you inhale, you're going to sense the entire left side of the body, the left leg, the left arm, sensing the left side of the neck, the left side of the face, and the air coming in through the left nostril. And then we'll retain the breath and shifting the attention to the right side of the body. As you exhale, sensing that air at the right nostril, the right side of the face, right side of the neck, sensing the right arm and the right leg. And then we'll inhale, sensing the right side of the body, the right leg, the right arm, right side of the face, the air at the right nostril. And then we'll retain and shift that attention over to the left side. Now sensing the left side of the face, the left arm, the left leg, and the left foot. Inhale, sensing the entire left side of the body. And retaining the breath as you shift the focus over to the right side, and exhale, shifting the entire right side of the body from the right face all the way down the body and into the sole of the right foot. Inhale again, sensing that right side of the body from the right foot all the way up to the right nostril, the right side of the face. Retain the breath as you shift the attention to the left side, and then exhale, sensing the air at the left nostril, sensing the left arm, the left torso, the left leg. And just continuing on at the pace of your own breath now, just shifting back and forth between sensation and awareness of opposite sides of the body. And this is another one of those breathing practices that you can do anytime during the day, and no one will even notice that you're doing it. You don't have to use your arm. I'm just using it here so that you can, in case you forget the kind of rhythm that we have going. I'll take one more breath. And then just letting go of any effort with the breathing and just following the breath now. And perhaps bringing to mind an intention for your practice today. And bringing it to mind in a first person present tense form. Something such as, I am at ease in my body. Or something such as, I show myself the same loving compassion that I show to all living beings. And you can go ahead and open the eyes again if you'd like to, or you're welcome to close them as much as you would like to during the practice. We're going to start out with just some gentle movements to start to open up the joints of the body. And you're welcome to stand up for this if you'd like. If you've been sitting all day long and you're really feeling that desire to stand up, then you can go ahead and stand up for this first part. You could also do this seated from a chair. I'm going to do it from the ground just because I have the one camera angle here. So we're going to start out with rotating the hips. And if you're standing, you can do this just like you're hula hooping. So just picturing a hula hoop going around your hips. If you're sitting on the ground like I am, we're going to actually rotate around our hips. So if you're sitting, you'll bring the left shoulder towards the right knee, sweeping the chest across so that the right shoulder comes towards the left knee and then coming around. And if you're standing, just picture yourself hula hooping. And then when you're ready, we can change directions. And now coming back to your center and really feeling that coming back to center here. We'll do some rotations now of our shoulders. So you can take the arms out wide and just starting out with some small rotations here. And if this causes too much pressure on the neck, you can leave the elbows bent so that there's a little less tension on the neck. Otherwise, you can go ahead and spread the arms out wide and spreading the fingers wide. As we spread the fingers wide and the hands wide, it helps stretch out those fascial planes. And changing directions. And then releasing the arms, and you can just kind of shake them out a little bit. We'll do a little more focused movement now. You can take the right thumb and connecting it to the right fingers, placing it under the crook of the right arm. Now we're going to make a little bit smaller circles here with that right elbow. And you can even drop that left ear towards the left shoulder, feeling all those connections up into the neck. As we do this, we're not only rotating the shoulder, but starting to open things up in the chest, the upper back, the neck. And changing directions. And releasing that arm, we'll do a rotation of the elbow now. So you'll sweep that thumb across the front of the body and around in a circle. And then as you're doing this one, also spread the fingers and the hand wide to help stretch out that fascial plane and feel all those connections up into the right side of the neck. And then changing directions so that the pinky finger leads the circle. And then you can release that right arm, shake it out, and then just take a minute noticing the right side, your right jaw, neck, right arm, and right hand. And then sensing the left side, that left jaw, left neck, left arm, and left hand. And then we'll change over to the other side. So now you'll take the thumb, connecting it to the fingers of the left hand, placing that under the crook of the arm. So we're gonna do some small circles of that left elbow. Starting to open up this left shoulder girdle. And changing directions. And now releasing that left arm, we're going to do those rotations of that left elbow. So you'll sweep that left thumb across the front of the body and around, and then flip the hand and spreading the hands and the fingers wide here. And changing direction so that the pinky finger is leading. And then releasing that left arm, you can shake that side out. And now just sensing that right side and the left side, just kind of comparing and seeing what's present for you right now. And we'll go ahead and do some rotations of the neck. So we'll just start out dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder, dropping the chin towards the chest, and then the left ear towards the left shoulder, and then coming back the other direction. And you can do full circles if you'd like to with your neck, or just these kind of half circles. I suggest if you've had any neck issues, maybe just doing the half circles here. And And then bringing the neck back to a neutral spine. And we'll go ahead and do a stretch of the neck here. We're going to go ahead and inhale, sweeping the arms high up overhead. You can lift the gaze upward. As you exhale, tucking the chin in towards the chest, the elbows come in towards the rib cage, and extending the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, feeling that stretch in the back of the neck. Release the arms, inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead, gaze lifts up, and then as you exhale, pulling the elbows in towards the rib cage, tucking the chin in towards your chest, crown of the head up towards the ceiling. We'll do one more here. Inhale. Gaze upward, stretching the front body, and exhale as you tuck that chin in towards the chest. And then you can even hold here with the elbows tucked in toward the spine, and then just kind of just gently rocking the head back and forth, getting that stretch in the neck. And then we'll release the arms down, and we'll go ahead and inhale the arms up overhead one more time. This time we're going to grab that left wrist with the right arm, and then gently stretching over towards your right side, getting a stretch up the entire left side of the body. And you can even lift the gaze up towards the ceiling here. And then shifting the gaze down towards the ground. And then coming back up to center, and we're going to switch sides now, grabbing the right wrist with that left hand, and then stretching over to the left, feeling that stretch up the entire right side of the body. And being gentle here with the body, you can lift the gaze up towards the ceiling, and then bringing the gaze back down towards the ground. And then coming back up towards center. Now we're going to take the arms behind us. Shift so that you can see here. And you can grasp the hands behind you now. You can either grasp them behind you or just placing the hands on the hips, whichever works for you. And then extending the hands down towards the ground as you extend the spine long. Feeling that stretch in the chest and the shoulders. And then we'll release the arms. And we'll just do a little rotation of the spine here yet before we go down to our back. So for this one, you can do the breath with movement. We'll inhale the arms high up overhead. And as you exhale, gently twisting over to your right side. And we'll inhale back to center as the arms come up overhead. And then exhale, gently twisting to the left. Allowing the breath to lead the movement here. So move at the pace of your own breath. It's as though the breath is lifting the arms. And then as you exhale, you're squeezing all the air out of the lungs here, but gently. Go ahead and finish the one that you're on, and then coming back to a neutral spine, and we're going to go ahead and move to the mat now. So you can move aside any props. I always suggest we're going to be going to our hands and knees here, so you can always use a blanket just as a cushion for your knees here, if you have one available. And you don't have a real thick mat, especially. And we'll come to our hands and our knees. So the shoulder is going to be approximately over the top of the wrists and the knees over the hips. If you have any wrist pain here, you can make fists rather than placing the palm of the hand on the mat here. And we're going to do a cat-cow. So Just settling in here in this tabletop position to start with, and starting to follow the breath, noticing the inhalation and the exhalation, and letting them guide the movement. And as you inhale, you're going to drop the belly towards the mat, lifting the gaze upward. And then as you exhale, tilting the pelvis so that the tailbone points towards the mat and arching the back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, belly dropping towards the ground, gaze lifts upward. And then exhale, tilting the pelvis so that the tailbone points towards the ground and the back arches up towards the ceiling. And then coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to go ahead and wag our tails now. So you go ahead and swing the hips to your left as you look over the left shoulder, and then coming back to center, swinging the hips to your right as you look over the right shoulder. Hips come back to center and swing to the left, looking over the left shoulder, back to center. And again, this movement you can do following the breath, kind of getting a rhythm with the breath and the movement. And coming back to a neutral spine. We'll do a breath flow again here. We'll be shifting between going forward towards a cobra on the inhalation. You'll shift the weight forward, keeping the core strong. And then as you exhale, gripping the mat a little bit with your hands as you shift the weight of the hips back towards the heels, finding length in the spine here. And then you'll inhale, shifting the weight back forwards again, keeping the core strong as you shift forward, and gentle back bend here. And then exhale, shifting the weight of the hips back towards the heels again, finding that length in the spine. And continuing on here, allowing your breath to lead your movement. And we'll do one more here, and then we're going to hold in child's pose. So next time you on the inhalation, you'll come forward, and then spreading the knees wide. You can bring the feet towards each other so that the knees are wide, and then gently just drifting back to a resting position. And you can always place a cushion behind your seat here if you need to, or perhaps another blanket or cushion underneath the head, and just letting the forehead drop to the ground. And you can have the hands forward here, or you can bring them to the height of your shoulders if that's too much pressure on the neck with them forwards. And just taking a few breaths here, really sensing the breath and the back body here as you completely release the body into the ground. And on the next inhalation, pressing yourself back up to that tabletop position. And then we'll go ahead, and if you have a blanket, you can move that to the side, and we're going to move around to our backs now. And you can just find a position lying down with the knees bent, the soles of the feet on the ground. And placing the hands on the belly. And we'll just close the eyes here for a few breaths, completely releasing to gravity. And just noticing all the areas where the body comes in contact with the ground. And then pulling the knees in towards the chest. We'll gently rock back and forth, massaging the lower back and the outer hips. And then extending the legs, feet up towards the ceiling. We'll go ahead and rotate the ankles here. As you rotate the ankles, noticing all those connections into the knees and into the hips, and changing directions when you're ready. And then pointing and flexing the toes. And then we're going to pull the knees back in towards the chest, and right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee. We're going to make circles with the knees. And as we make circles with the knees, noticing that rotation in the hips. Noticing those connections into the lower back. And then changing directions. And then we'll pull the right knee into the chest, and you can let the left foot drop to the ground or extend it out long as you just gently tug that right knee in towards the chest here. And if you have that left foot out long, feeling that sense of kind of extending outward through the soles of the feet. But if it's causing any pressure on the lower back, just bend that left knee. And then we'll extend that right foot up towards the ceiling, and you can grasp behind the right knee up, right foot up towards the ceiling, grasping behind that right thigh. And then just gently rotating that right ankle. And then we'll go ahead and turn that right foot inward here, feeling that stretch up the entire right side of that right leg. And then bringing that right foot back up towards center. You can reach up and grab that right toe if it's available for you, and then stretching that foot back up again. Keeping that right knee bent just as much as you need to here. And you can bend, if that left leg was straight, it might help to bend that left leg again and place that left arm out to your side, kind of as an anchor for you for that left side of the body. And then you can gently drop that right foot out towards your right side, back towards center. And then bringing that right foot down so that right heel connects with that left knee. Letting the right knee drop out to your side, getting a stretch in that right hip. We'll go ahead and you can curl up and grasp behind that left thigh, gently pulling it in towards your chest. If you'd like a little deeper stretch, you can extend that left leg up towards the ceiling. And then dropping that left foot back towards the ground and extending that left leg out long, leaving the sole of the right foot on that left thigh. You shift your hips over to the right and gently twist over towards your left side. Just looking for a gentle spine twist here. Keeping both of the shoulder blades anchored on the ground, and you can place a pillow or a support underneath of that right leg if you would like to, or perhaps using that left hand as kind of a pivot for your right knee. And just taking a few breaths here, feeling that expansion of that right rib cage with the breath. Feeling the space between that lower right rib cage and the right hip as you find length in the spine here. And then we'll go ahead and shift our hips back towards the left, coming back onto the back. And then just taking a moment to notice now the right side of the body and the left side of the body. And then we'll pull that left knee in towards the chest, giving it a gentle hug. And you can keep the right knee bent or extending that right leg out long and extending out through the soles of the feet here, gently flexing the feet back. And then extending that left foot up towards the ceiling, grasping behind that left thigh. And again, bending that right knee if you're feeling any pressure in the lower back. And we'll go ahead and rotate that left ankle again here. And then turning that left foot inward towards your midline, so towards the right side. And we'll let that left leg drift just a little bit towards the right, feeling that stretch up the entire left side of the leg into the hip. And then coming back to midline. And then we'll go ahead and grasp that left big toe with your second and your third finger if that's available for you. If not, you can just keep the hand behind the calf or behind the thigh. And then again, stretching that foot up towards the ceiling. And you can bend that right knee, placing the right arm out to your side to help kind of anchor the body here. And then you can just gently let that left leg drop out towards your left and then bringing it back towards center. You can do this with the breath. So as you inhale, dropping the leg out to your side and then exhaling back to midline. And then bringing that left leg back in. We're going to bring that left heel over to our right knee and drop that left knee out, getting a stretch in the left hip now. And you can just stay here and getting a stretch, or you can gently roll up, grasping behind the right thigh and pulling it in towards the chest. If you'd like a little bit deeper stretch, you can also extend that right leg up. And then dropping the right foot back to the ground, we'll go ahead and extend that right leg out long, keeping that sole of the left foot on top of the right thigh. We're going to shift our hips over to the left side and then just gently rolling your lower body over towards your right, getting a gentle twist in the spine and keeping both of the shoulder blades anchored to the ground here, keeping length in the spine. So the knee is likely not going to go anywhere near the floor. But you can prop it up with the pillow or using that right hand, kind of like a pivot, like a bicycle, to kind of prop up that left knee there. And then just relaxing into this gentle spine stretch here, spine twist. Something that expansion of that left rib cage with each inhalation. And the release with the exhalation. Something that space between that left lower rib cage and that left hip, and allowing for that space to remain. And then we'll go ahead and shift our hips back to the right as we roll back onto our back sides again. And we'll go ahead and pull the knees in towards the chest again and gently rolling back and forth, massaging that lower back again. And then we'll reach both hands between the legs, grabbing the outside. So the right hand grabs the outside of the right shin, left hand grabs the outside of the left shin. And you can just let the legs fall out towards the side for a modified happy baby, or you can actually grab the outside of the soles of the feet and gently rocking back and forth here. And then letting go of the feet. You can make any final movements that feel good, any additional knee rotations or any twists. And we'll go ahead and make ourselves into a comfortable Shavasana. Or you can come to a comfortable seated position for the next 10 minutes or so for a guided relaxation. So you can extend the legs out long if that's comfortable for you, and just allowing the feet to fall out to each side, and then allowing the palms to rest up towards the ceiling. If you have a blanket or a pillow, you can put that behind your head to help align the spine, or whatever position's comfortable for you. You can close the eyes if that's comfortable. Just following my words, making them as though they were your own, or just noticing the tone and quality of my voice as an anchor to the present moment. So we'll bring the attention to the face and the head as you sense the upper jaw and the lower jaw release to gravity. Sensing the ears and opening up to sensation of sound that's present. Noticing the sounds in the room around you. The sound of my voice. Noticing the sound of your breath. Now sensing the nose, noticing the movement of air at the nostrils. Sensing the eyes, noticing any sensation of dark or of lightness behind the eyelids, any sensation of color that might be present. Noticing any movement behind the eyes. Sensing the eyebrows, the temples. Sensing the forehead, top of the head, back of the head. Sensing the jaw, the neck, and the shoulders release to gravity. Now sensing the upper back and shoulder blades. Noticing the gentle curve of the lower back. Sensing the hips and the pelvis. Sensing the left upper leg, left knee, left shin and calf. Sensing the left foot. Sensing the entire left leg and left foot release to gravity. Now sensing the right leg and right foot. Sensing the right upper leg, right knee, right shin and calf. Sensing the right foot. Sensing the entire right leg and right foot release to gravity. Sensing the chest and the belly and their gentle movement with the breath. Sensing the entire back side of the body, the back of the head, the shoulder blades, following down the spine, sensing the backs of the legs, the soles of the feet. Sensing the entire back side of the body and all of its contact points. Sensing the entire front side of the body. Sensing the face, the neck, the chest, the belly. Sensing the tops of the legs and the tops of the feet. Sensing the entire body as a field of sensation. Noticing the sensation of air on the skin. Areas of coolness or of warmth. Noticing sensation of fabric against the skin. And bringing the attention to the breath. Sensing the air at the nostrils. The coolness of the inhalation. And the gentle warmth of the exhalation. Sensing the gentle rise and fall of the belly with the breath. Sensing the breath as a wave through the body. Gently ebbing and flowing. And now bringing the attention to the area of the heart. And bringing to mind something that brought you a sense of gratitude this week. And if gratitude is not accessible, then perhaps something that brought you a sense of strength. And noticing what that feels like at the heart. And breathing into that sense of gratitude or strength at the heart. And perhaps sensing it expand out into every cell of the body. And beginning to deepen the breath, you can bring some gentle movement to the fingers and to the toes. If you're lying down, you can stretch the arms out overhead and stretching out the arms and the legs from the fingertips all the way down to the tips of the toes. And as you're ready, you can gently roll to one side. Just resting for a moment in the fetal position, taking a few breaths there. And as you're ready, you can start to just push yourself up to a gentle seated position. With the eyes closed for just another few breaths, just noticing what's now present. Noticing the thoughts that are now present. Noticing the sensations that are now present in the body. Perhaps sensing that sense of gratitude or of strength still present at the heart and throughout the body. And if you had an intention for the practice today, just repeating that one time more time to yourself in that present tense first person form, feeling it as true in this moment. And as you're ready, you can begin to bring in some light to the eyes, taking in the sensations of color and shapes in the room. And as you're ready, arriving fully present in this moment, just as it is.